Send a Christmas card and shh. What up, my big beautiful babies? It's Meghan Tonjes. You're watching People Keep Talking, the show where I talk about news and trends throughout the week. Quick reminder that if you haven't already, you should definitely subscribe to the channel, click that like button, maybe ring that notification ass bell and turn it to always so you see all my videos all the time. Wouldn't that be lovely? And if you feel so inclined while you're watching this video, please leave me a comment. Leave me several comments. Anytime you wish you could say something to me in real life, just write it. And if you say something particularly awesome, it might end up making you BB of the day, which we'll get to eventually. So I asked the BBs on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at Meghan Tonjes. You can follow me at all of these places, what they want me to talk about. I clicked the links, I opened the stories, and we're just gonna react to these things together. In no particular order, the BBs wanted me to talk about how Rihanna is reportedly working on a new album. Now we know that there's already new makeup stuff coming out from Fenty for the holidays, but there are rumors that Rihanna is working on music again. Apparently there was an interview with Diplo where he talks about how she turned down using some of his music, but that they were talking for a bit because she's writing a lot of new music right now for her next project, and hopefully we can connect. So people are excited, people are freaking out, new Rihanna music. I'm excited, I'm ready. I'm kind of obsessed with that Lemon song with her and Pharrell in that music video. I have a serious crush on that dancer, and I'm ready to hear more. I think Rihanna consistently puts out great music. Obviously she's killing it with the makeup, and I'm excited. BB's also wanted me to talk about Lizzie Kaplan joining Channing, is that how you say his name? Channing Tatum in Gambit. I'm behind on everything, you guys, but apparently Gambit is being made into a movie. How do we feel about Channing Tatum? I mean, I know that, you know, I know, but how do we feel about that? Isn't this character Cajun? I'm just saying that, like, accents, I don't know if that's his thing. I will, however, say that I'm here for Lizzie Kaplan. I don't know what she's playing or what she's doing, but I love her. I'm intrigued by the Gambit situation. I will say I wrote a lot of Rogue Wolverine fanfiction back in the day. Never quite got into Gambit in Rogue, which, you know, OTP is too mainstream, I can't do it. I'm down to see a trailer. I'm not gonna make any judgments before I see a trailer, but Lizzie Kaplan being involved is definitely a thumbs up for me. Apparently, Janine Pirro from Fox News, she's a host over there, got a speeding ticket. That's news. I guess she was going 119, which is double the speed limit where she was. She says she was going to visit her ailing mother and she wasn't really paying attention, which is always a good thing to be doing while you're driving. She also said, "I believe in the rule of law and I will pay the consequences." I don't understand why this is news. Like, who hasn't gotten a speeding ticket, okay? Let me know below in the comments if you've ever been pulled over for a speeding ticket and how that went. Did you get out of it? How'd you get out of it? I had a choir teacher back in the day who told me that he got pulled over for speeding and he dumped his water bottle in his lap and started crying. So it looked like he had pissed himself and he got off with a warning. So, I mean, that's one way to go about it. Charlie Rose has sexual misconduct allegations against him and his show was taken off the air. According to CBS News, there are descriptions of Rose putting his hands on women's legs, sometimes their upper thigh, groping breasts, walking naked in front of them after taking a shower. I guess he would have employees over his house often. Allegedly invited one woman to his home on Long Island while considering her for a job. She described crying the entire time as he reached down her pants. It's still kind of a mindfuck to me that Twitter is a place where people basically put their press releases. He said, "I deeply apologize for my inappropriate behavior. I'm greatly embarrassed. I have behaved insensitively at times and I accept responsibility for that, though I do not believe that all of these allegations are accurate. I always felt that I was pursuing shared feelings, even though I now realize I was mistaken." Well, you also want me to talk about Kevin Hart and Nico Parrish apparently had their baby finally. I do follow her on Instagram and every day I'm like, how are you still working out? Why are you more motivated than I am and you are growing life in your womb? Like, what is happening? Kevin Hart tweeted, "God is truly amazing. Kenzo Cash Hart was born at 1:45 a.m. He's healthy and already smiling. Thank you for all your prayers. We love and appreciate you. Hashtag hearts." So that's a thing? Babies in the world, yay. I guess they're still together and making it work. I mean, listen, I get it. Equinox Gym is expensive. Sometimes you just gotta make that marriage work. BB's also wanted me to talk about the Keystone Pipeline being shut down after it leaked 210,000 gallons of oil. I very clearly recall what was happening around this time last year with the protests and the just spraying people with cold water in the middle of the night. You were told this was gonna happen, and look, ooh, it happened. Trash. The BBs also want me to talk about Senator Al Franken and the allegations against him. So for those of you who don't know, Leanne Tweeden, according to NBC News, accused the lawmaker of forcibly kissing and groping her more than a decade ago. There's also a picture of her apparently sleeping with him putting his hands up to her chest. He came out and made an apology, though he didn't really take credit for the forcible kissing groping situation. He said he remembered that situation differently, which of course you do. Now a bunch of women who used to work at SNL made a statement together and came forward saying, well, he never touched us inappropriately. He treated us with respect, so happy holidays to him. Like, I get what y'all are trying to do. You're trying to say, look, if this was a predator, why wouldn't he have attacked any of us? I understand that, you know, when people that we work with, people that we know, people that we care about are accused of something, we want to come out and say, but they had an opportunity, they could have done that to me and they never did. And we think that we're coming across as like a character witness for them, and I get that. You could have all of the greatest experiences in the world with someone and they still have the capacity to hurt someone else, to do something horrible. If you're on the other end of this and you're coming out with a story of something that happened to you and a bunch of women get together and say, well, he never did anything to us and we just so appreciate that. Okay, that doesn't change. There are photos of, he's already talked about how inappropriate these actions were. Like, what are you? Send a Christmas card and shh. Jennifer Lawrence was recently on the Hollywood Reporter's Awards Chatter podcast, and she talks about how violating those photos that got leaked of her were. She said, I think that I'm still actually processing it. When I first found out it was happening, my security reached out to me. It was happening minute to minute. It was almost like a ransom situation where they were releasing new ones every hour. You can just be at a barbecue and somebody can pull them up on their phone. That was a really impossible thing to process. She also said, and this is what made me incredibly sad, I think like a year and a half ago, somebody said something to me about how I was a good role model for girls, and I had to go into the bathroom and sob because I felt like an imposter. I felt like I can't believe somebody still feels that way after what happened. It's so many different things to process when you've been violated like that. I can only imagine what that feels like on that scale. I do appreciate that I feel like there's definitely a turn with how people online treat this kind of stuff. I think there's a lot of pushback about people looking at photos and sharing photos. There's a lot of conversation about revenge porn and about just the violation, I think, of sharing any of these photos. I hope that laws catch up, especially when it comes to hacking photos, especially when it comes to revenge porn. And I hope that the stigma and the slut shaming and all of that continues to be weeded out as we realize that taking naked photos is not an invitation to be violated. According to People, Jennifer Garner is adjusting to being single. Okay. Apparently, she hasn't been on a date since separating with Affleck and is in a good place right now, which that's good. That's awesome for her. I'm excited for her. I mean, listen, getting out of whatever toxic, shitty marriage situation, whatever it was that had to end so that you can have the life that you're meant to have, it's for the better. Like, you should be happy. This other person should be happy. You probably aren't happy together, so you should be apart. It's complicated with kids. And it's complicated, I imagine, after being with someone for that long. But being single can be really great. And taking time to heal from things and not dating right away and focusing on the other things in your life can be really great. Focus on your kids, focus on your work, focus on healing so that when someone else that's great comes along and they don't hesitate to swoop, that you are even in the place to want to be swooped. Or just swear off men altogether and keep your money. That's actually a really interesting thing to ask you about. What is a lesson you've learned in a relationship that you are thankful to have learned? Let me know below in the comments. Thank you to all the BBs that suggested stories over on the social media. Reminder that you can find me at Meghan Tonjes on most things. Now, we do have a segment on this channel called BB of the Day. This is where I give some internet love to my internet loves. We are gonna swoop onto a video that I posted last week called He Can Slide in My DMs. The comments on this video were incredible. I basically asked you guys to write fan fiction about your life and what you're doing, and you came up with some good ones. One of my personal favorites was Jasmine M's, who said, hey guys, it's Jasmine here. I imagine this is your voice, Jasmine. Just finished rehearsing with Beyonce for her secret performance, plan to take over the presidency. I'm super nervous, but she killed it though. Thank you to Obama for FaceTiming me and giving me a pep talk. Love you, BB. Anyway, guys, I love you. Wish me luck. Smiley face. It was really hard for me to not give BB the day to every single person in this comment section because you all did a great job. You showed up, I appreciate you. Reminder that you can find me at Meghan Tonjes on most things. I highly recommend that you follow me on the social medias like the Twitters, the Facebooks, the Instagrams, because I ask you guys for stories that you want to hear about, and it's a great place for you to connect with me. Also, I would super appreciate if you said hi to your grandmas for me, because I got places to go, I got people to touch, I like your faces very much, and I will see you tomorrow. Loudest neighbors ever. Great. Bye.